Thank you for listening to today's Bible reading lesson. The lesson today is in blank we trust. What's that? Money. That's what makes the world go round, isn't it? And you know, there are people who have fought the little slogan that's on the back, in God we trust. It's on the back of the paper bills, it's around the edge on the coins that we use. And people, especially in the United States, they want God set in the forefront. Oh, I trust in God. I know Him. I believe Him. But in reality, you look and it's obvious that the majority don't. Sadly, most people trust in the things of this world. In our reading yesterday, the psalmist addressed that very thing in Psalm 20 and verse 7 and 8. He said, "Some trust in chariots, some in horses, but we will remember the name of the Lord our God." They, those that trust in horses and chariots, they're brought down and fallen, but we are risen and stand upright. You know, with God, we're assured of success. Oh, there'll be hard times in this world, but ultimately, we're victors because Jesus is the one in Revelation 17 or verse 14 who overcomes. And if we're with Him, called and chosen and faithful, but we have to make sure that we not just use a little slogan about in God we trust and then live a life that says something else. The psalmist, as he wrote the many psalms, you find in various ones, as a matter of fact, there's at least 17 in which the psalmist refers to this trust in God explicitly. There are many others that cry out about the trust that we are to have. You know, for example, Psalm 23 doesn't use the word trust, but there the shepherd's psalm cries out with the trust that we have in Him. You get over to the New Testament and we find the Apostle Paul said in 1 Timothy, the 4th chapter, in verse 10, "Therefore we labor and suffer reproach because we trust in the living God." You know, it comes with a price. That tells us that we're different than the world. Oh, the world wants to believe that they trust in God. But whenever people truly do, they stand out. They're the light that's disturbing the darkness of the world, and it causes struggles. But Paul pointed out in 1 Timothy 6 and verse 17 that if we're desiring to be rich in the world, he says, don't be high-minded nor trust in these uncertain riches, but trust in the living God. He gives richly to all things to them to enjoy. You look and God is there. He is worthy of our trust. He's shown it over and over. He's shown the failure of man and his trust in the things of the world to stand. But sadly, some people still trust in those ungodly, those worldly things. But here's the question. If there were to be coins minted based upon my life, the things that are seen, how would that blank be filled in? In blank, we trust. But even put your name there. In blank, Jack trusts. What do people see? Trust in God, trust in the world, trust in family, trust in self. You know, God is the only one worthy of such trust. And we need to make sure that we are, like the Apostle Paul, having such trust that we look and we realize no matter what the world throws at us, we learn to be content. Philippians 4 and verse 11. Why? Because I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me. I trust Him. And whenever I do that, what an amazing life I have. I am undefeatable. If God be for us, who can be against us? We trust in that. So let's look at ourselves and consider as we go through this day, what does my life say that my trust is in? In God, Jack trusts, or the things of the world? You know, if it is God, you too, like the Apostle Paul and like David, can have that assurance and hope that all things will work together for good, that you will be risen and stand upright. Have a great day. Thank you for listening. Thank you again for joining us in this Bible study. We remind you, if you'd like to follow along in our daily Bible reading, the link below in the description of this video will give you the PDF so you can read right along with us. If you have any other questions or if you'd like information on a Bible study, contact us with the information provided on the screen before you.